Hello, everyone. My name is Jaybird, and welcome back to 1000 Lies. Without any further ado, let's get right back to where we left off last time. Right here. Luce leads me outside. She brings me out near the entrance and into the parking lot. It's empty aside from a couple of parked cars. Look. I used to park my bike right here at the bike racks. At the beginning of the school year, one of the teachers decided to purchase a new car. Not a regular car, but a big one. Really big. It turns out that his parking space was in front of the bike racks, making it harder to get the bikes in and out. Let's not talk how this teacher didn't give a damn, and every time he'd park, he'd always hit the bike racks one way or another. So I've been forced to give up my wheels and start walking instead, but I don't want to end the year by letting him get away with it. I presume diplomacy hasn't worked out very well. Why don't you chain up your bike somewhere else? Where? This place is busy during the mornings and you never know where you'll be able to park. Plus, I've already made up my mind. Here or nowhere. She presses one of the buttons on the key, and the headlights of a large vehicle blink on. I almost mistook it for a monster truck, making Luce's complaint more understandable. What are you going to do with it now? You don't need the keys to scratch the body of it. Sit down. I want to show you something. Luce invites me to sit shotgun. What's she planning, I wonder? I'll be the first to admit that I love pranks, but I can't imagine this girl being that kind of person. I'm pretty curious about it, so I decide to go along with whatever she wants to do. I take my seat as she goes around the other way and sits in the driver's seat. Can you tell me what we're gonna do with this car now? You haven't figured it out yet? We're stealing it. What? Ah! In the time it took me to blink, we sped out of the school's parking lot and onto the street. I've always considered myself a prankster, but this is too much. Too much. I mean, we're stealing a damn car! What are you doing? I told you, I want to test whether or not I can trust you. There's only one way to do it properly. You can't trust someone who you don't consider a close friend. And I don't believe that two people can be friends until they share secrets. What do you think? Will you be my accomplice? There's no better secret than this. You could have told me before starting the car. I wanted to see how much it'd take before you'd asked. In the end, it's true that you will always fulfill your promises. Or you're just stupid. Okay, whatever you say, but slow down! You're going the wrong way in the roundabout! I'm trying to, but it's hard! I know which one is the gas pedal, but I can't distinguish between the normal and the super brake. What the hell is a super brake? I don't know, there are 3 pedals, the gas pedal, the brake, and another, which could only be the super brake. The clutch, that's the clutch! Dutch? Why would they be here? Clutch! You don't know what that is? How did you manage to start the car in the first place? Woman's intuition or something like that. I don't know! Luce makes a sharp turn that, if the streets were busy, everyone in our path would have been slaughtered. After skidding, the car flies into the air with the finesse of a rat, likely also breaking the suspension and lands in an empty, vacant lot. The truth is that we aren't really going to steal it, more like borrow it. I don't have a license, so I don't need the car for anything myself. You don't say! I never would have imagined that after seeing how well you drive on 2 wheels. Don't be like that! We're only serving justice. I don't have it yet, but in a couple months I'll be 18 and I plan on getting it then. Have you ever heard about future investments? Same thing here. Yeah, not really worth it. Too late, you're already involved. It rained yesterday, right? That's why the vacant lot is muddy. The plan is to circle around a couple of times and leave the car covered in it. I can think of thousands of easier ways to dirty a car if that's what Justice intends. None of those are as fun! I'm close to making the interior of this car as dirty as outside purely for motion sickness. The driver's obnoxious laughter isn't helping me at all. A few minutes, although it felt more like months, of torture later and Luce is bored of circling. The car is now in a completely unrecognizable dirty state. At least now it seems like Luce has gotten the hang of driving, but it's a pity that our luck runs out as soon as we return onto the main streets. Hey, Luce says with a completely casual tone. Yeah? What's that behind us? I take a look and answer in her relaxed tone. The cops. Silence consumes the car. Luce tries to break it, but is completely unsuccessful. What's he doing with his hand? Signaling you to stop. I see. I think now is a good time for us to switch seats. Stop the car. With the normal or super brake, some people say looks can kill, but not mine. My facial expression is more like an ode to the apocalypse. My gaze focuses on the rear view mirror as my stomach enacts a coup d'etat. That's how you say it, right? Coup d'etat? I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. I'm bad at French. Out of the police vehicle emerges a figure. Whatever happened to the fat police officers with greasy donut-laden hands? It's not like I have anything against 6'6" tall baldies that are as large as bodybuilders, but it's not good for, 6 foot 6 inches. Not 6. Whatever. You know what I mean. But it's not good for my mental health or heart to face the final boss during the first level. For a second, I'm unsure if he wants to lean in through the window or rip the sunroof off with his bare hands. Oh my god, hello there. Bulky officer. Are you aware that having a car this dirty makes it impossible to see your blinkers and license plate? Hey, where's the driver? Between how poorly I act under pressure while having to improvise in my stomach reenacting the French Revolution, I missed an important detail. Luce is gone. I think I can hear the car starting to break down under the fingers of the mean-looking officer. I may have been joking about the sunroof before, but it all started becoming more plausible. I can hear the guillotines going off in the Place de la Concorde, when to my ears comes a soft whisper. Repeat what I say if you want to get out of this alive. What? I guess that the sound is coming from behind me. From that, it's safe to assume Luce is lying down in the space between the front and back seats. With a car as big as this, there should be enough space there for her. Don't play dumb with me. Where's the driver? I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die! I've watched more than enough Japanese cartoons to know that the aura given off by this officer is no good. It's probably because he's bald that I can't tell what his power level is, but it's likely quite high. I left that seat free on purpose because I've been looking for you all night. Probably only because I don't have a better idea, but without overthinking it, I start repeating Luce's words. I left that seat free on purpose. I've been looking for you all night. The officer raised an eyebrow. Do you know why the car is like this? I went to the countryside to look at the stars all night. The car ended up like this because I went to the countryside to look at the stars all night, and now look, it's bright as day. Can't believe I'm doing this. The revolution may have ended, but now I have Napoleon Bonaparte expanding his territory beyond my abdomen, and I can't hold him back much longer. I've put in so much effort, and I finally found Uranus. Found Uranus! No! I meant, My mind is so blank that I noticed the small vibrations coming from behind my seat Luz can barely contain her laughter. My vision clouds. The bulky guy looking in through the car window seems to grow taller than before, and his eyes turn blood red. I, who was always lived free of any sins, lies. So this is the conspiracy that the corrupt government and law enforcement came up with to get rid of me for good? Still lying. I always knew they considered me a threat. Lies. But for it to come to this, I would rather spend the day at home playing video games. Lies. No, wait. This is true. I hope humanity remembers me as a hero for what I've dedicated my entire life and efforts into. The protection of the Vietnamese Seola and its rights. He doesn't even know what that is. Although, there may still be a way. A really cliché solution, the oldest trick in the book. It's not like it can get any worse now, right? Joking, I'm joking. This is a hidden camera prank, see? I raise up my hand up to the nearest sun visor and I flip it up and down as if I'm trying to indicate that there's a camera hidden behind it. Of course, there's nothing actually there, but thanks to my experience as a magician, it's practically pretty easy for me to make others believe otherwise. It's all about how well you can act and lie. It's all in the wrist. The beast frowns suspiciously, then also seems to calm down a little bit. It's going to air on one of the popular comedy websites. It looks like there's no driver, but I can drive it from here. Cool, right? Please, like, share, and subscribe so I can live off the views until the YouTube cash cow dies and I have to go back to living in my mother's basement. Thank you very much. Oh my god, yes! Here's my driver's license, you see? I take out my wallet while trying to control my sudden Parkinson's fit and bend over the driver's seat as I hand over my driver's license for the officer to examine. It may just be an adrenaline thing, but to me, it looks like he's going to... Run! It looks like he's going to burn my license into the presence of his fingertips. He sighs, something I personally envy, considering that I don't have any oxygen left in my lungs until he gives me back my ID. Alright, don't do anything like this again, okay? The police officer nods his head and leaves. I bid him farewell in shock. When he's far enough away, I let out the biggest sigh I've ever sighed in my entire life. Everything's okay in the end. Who would have thought? Luz appears from the back and takes my driver's license out of my lifeless hands. I don't say anything, and when I come back to my senses, I cover my face and try to compute everything that has transpired. Although my reaction isn't what anyone would expect. I can't believe that guy fell for that amateur lie. Oh my god. Lisa and I start laughing our asses off together. It had been a pretty dangerous situation, but we couldn't stop laughing. I thought you were angry for a second, you know? Oh, I am. Don't be mistaken. But being able to get out of that with such a bad lie, it's so ridiculous. I don't understand. What I don't understand is why you're laughing. What's wrong with you? Do you even realize that we just stolen a car or what? Well, there's a small detail I might have left out. That story I told you about the teacher is real, but that teacher is actually my father. You're stealing your dad's car? Are you crazy? We have a special relationship. We pull pranks on each other all the time. I might have outdone myself this time, but he'll probably find it hilarious. Little weird, eh? Some things are so easy to say, but the most simple ones can be the most difficult. She lowers her voice for a second, and in reaction, I turn around to look at her. But she avoids my gaze and returns to her previous demeanor. To tell you the truth, I wanted to do something unexpected to see how far you'd go. Ziva has actually told me about you before, you know? The weird guy that writes in his notebook and always gets into trouble. I see she wasn't lying about the latter, at least. Looks like we have something in common. What do you think? This is what I meant by justice. You break into other people's houses and stalk them. I steal cars. You don't have any more reason to be wishy-washy around me like before now, right? Luz smiles. She's a lot more relaxed now that, according to her, we're on the same level. The philosophy of committing a crime to understand criminals better seems stupid to me, foolish even, but she seems convinced. What I didn't plan on was you having this driver's license. Luz waves a piece of plastic between her fingers, looking at it while trying to change the subject. Oh my, it seems like your birthday's next week. Happy early birthday. Stop snooping and give it back to me before you lose it in here. What I don't understand is why it says that you're 19 years old. Aren't you in the same class as Eva? Snoop! I repeated a grade a while ago. Nothing is special. Wow, are you serious? You must be kind of stupid after all. I appreciate that deep analysis, but shouldn't we bring this car back already? Your father must have realized that it's missing by now, especially considering how large and hard it is to miss it. Hard to miss it. Don't worry, at this hour he's probably fooling around somewhere. He's a good man, but still irresponsible. Is that something you know for sure, or is it another gut feeling? A bit of both. Mental note. This girl's dangerous. Oh well, at least the Battle of Waterloo is over. What do you mean? You don't want to know. Well, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode of 1000 Lies. If you enjoyed this episode of 1000 Lies, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!